You're welcome to today's episode of Chronicles of a Nigerian Woman. My name is Fagbeja, and today I'll be reading Eniola's story. Growing up, I was the one who always stood up for the domestic helps in our home. My parents were not mean or wicked to them, but I have always held an egalitarian view of life. Both my parents were very busy career people, and so we always had at least one help. Although most of the time they did not live with us, they resumed in the morning and left in the evenings. I was the second of 4 children, and my youngest brother came 8 years after my immediate younger sister. I was 10 at the time. My mom employed an extra help to live in and help take care of the baby, while the day help concentrated on cooking and other chores. My parents simply treated our helps as employees, but in my opinion, they deserved to get everything we were entitled to. I remember once, my mom allowed one of our helps to bring her children along to work during the holidays, and she allowed them to have all their meals. But as far as I was concerned, that was not enough. They deserved to go everywhere we went to and to get everything we got, etc. After all, they were victims of circumstances and we were privileged, so why not? As I grew older, whenever I read stories on blogs or on social media about domestic helps who misbehaved or did outrageous things to their employers, I was always the one who was of the opinion that the employer must have mistreated the help or frustrated them in some way that precipitated the misbehavior. I got married 8 years ago, and I am here to share my experience with domestic helps. I had my first child within a year of getting married. Pregnancy took an immediate toll on me. In fact, I needed to take about 6 weeks off work in my first trimester because I was so sick. So, we needed to get help immediately. Believe it or not, before I eventually gave birth to my baby, I had hired 3 different living helps. The first one. As soon as she came, I got one of my cousins to take her shopping for clothes and shoes and to get her hair done. But she was so lazy and would do nothing. Because I was ill, I could not supervise her too well. She would not sweep or clean the house. Dishes would be left undone for the whole day, and yet she felt entitled to everything. My mom helped with buying food and supplies in bulk whenever she did her own monthly shopping. There were days I could not eat at all, except for dry crackers, and yet there was barely ever enough meat at home. It was so bad that at times my husband would get back and there would be no meat to eat with his dinner. This continued until I was well enough to keep an eye on things. This was well into her 2nd month. I think she got uncomfortable because she called the agent who brought her to tell her that she wanted to leave because she wasn't eating enough. I was shocked. The second one stayed only 2 weeks when I insisted that she could not go out every weekend. The third one came just a month before I had the baby and stayed till the baby was about a year. Thankfully, there was a crèche in my office, and so she and my son would go with me to work and return with me after I resumed from maternity leave. After she left, I decided that I did not want another living help, so I got a day help, and I got a crèche not far from home where I could drop my son off in the mornings and pick him on my way home in the evenings. One day, I got back from work earlier than usual and found my help entertaining guests in my home. Not only were they visiting, she had prepared a rich meal of fried rice and turkey for her 4 guests and served them the fresh juice I ordered from a vendor near my office. I had noted before about how the juices were depleted so quickly, but she always had a story about how Oga took some and Grandma or my siblings took some when they visited. I didn't think too much about it anyway, until I found out what she had been doing. These were in the early days. If I should share more stories about my domestic help experience, I won't stop. From the one who was pregnant, to the one who had hepatitis, to the ones who stole, how many can I talk about? When I got tired about 2 years ago, I decided to stop and just hire foreign helps. I found an agency that organizes Filipino helps. They are very expensive, but at least I have my peace of mind. I repented a long time ago of the comments and attitudes I expressed towards others. In fact, I had to apologize to my parents at some point when I realized my folly from when I was young. I have learned not to ever judge people's circumstances without knowing any better, because you really can't know another person's pain until you walk in their shoes. Do you have any experience with domestic helps? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos.